Welcome to my master research lessons. My lessons will be based on a book entitled Social Research Methods, Proposal Writing Guide. Theoretical. Framework. Theoretical framework. So theoretical framework is a structure of concepts which exists in literature, but more is of very theoretical nature and may be led by certain theories. I'll give example of a traveler who travels without knowing where the journey ends. Or a preacher who preaches without previously revising a sermon or a sermon. Is a pulpit. Theoretical framework is pulpit upon which one stands as he or she preaches his or her gospel. So looking at theoretical framework, therefore, one who is not guided will be led to be like a lost one in space, orbiting around without guidance. So studies need certain guidance so that one does not look like a mad person without any guidance and direction. And therefore, theoretical framework gives guidance of theoretical nature so that one is able to align himself or herself with the previous provisions of theoretical provisions, so that when the study is conducted, is led by such tenets or such theoretical principles that are guiding principles, so that one is guided does not go outside, but remains within the track. So that when such study is guided as such, does not become like a runner who runs very fast and thinks that he's number one and only realizes that he's the last because instead of running clockwise, was running anti-clockwise. That is a tragedy. So therefore, you need to be guided by a theory, a certain theory, or theories in your study, so that as you argue your case and advance you excavate into knowledge, you dig into knowledge, you are guided so that you are not alone, that there are others who came before you. Now, there are a number of reasons why theoretical framework is important, and this is what I've been exposing, the importance of theoretical framework to be able to guide a study based on certain tenets, certain theories. Let me give an example of a study theoretical framework. You may want to do a study on factors affecting students' academic performance, and therefore think of the theory that guide such an area. You have to look into studies and the theoretical provisions and theoretical frameworks that are aligned with theories, such theories that govern academic performance. that we argue, for instance, certain theories, system theory, for instance, where you take school as a system. And therefore, we are talking of in terms of management. If management does not comprehensively work in a school as a system and orient it so that that system is able ultimately to have at the end the output as one system with various parts, they be students, teachers, parents, all members of school community that work together as a system for common goal, which is quality education, and therefore realize also through academic performance and integral performance for that case. So in this case, if we take certain theory, as I've given the example of system theory, such will be argued out how for school education quality to be realized, schools have to work together and treated as a system. And that is a theory that would guide such a study, and therefore be able to be argued out later to find out whether, when all components of school are put together, whether school performs at the very end. Such is theoretical provisions, and a study may be guided by one major theory, and then maybe other two supporting theory. And then you need to argue out the following key areas when you are outlining a theory. One, you have to consider the history, the background of that study. When was it? Did it come? How did such theory come about? Who is the proponent of that theory? Who does the theory state? What are its principles? What are the tenets of that theory? And therefore, give a small background of that theory, its foundation, the proponent, its history. And then once you give the history of that, then proceed to provide the importance of that theory in your study. So in this case, you are talking about the strengths of that theory. And then, 3, give also the weakness of that theory, because no theory that is complete. Every theory has a gap. And that is why you put other 2 theories or so to support the major theory that is guiding your study. Therefore, look at also the weakness of that theory or weaknesses. And then, once you do that, indicate the application, despite the weakness of that theory. How are you applying it in your study? Its application or its relevance. Relevance. Or application. Its relevance or application in your study. So these are key points to consider when you look at a theory. Consider the history, its strength, weaknesses, relevance or application in your study. Once you have that, then you'll be comprehensive enough, and that will be the main theory that is guiding your study, and then indicate also other theories that may support this theory in the areas of its weakness. They complement. Other theories complement the major theory. And these theories, when you are discussing your findings after you do your analysis in other subsequent chapter in your study, is when you come and check whether the tenets or the theory that guided your study whether when you went to the field and analyzed whether your findings were in line with what your guiding theory held in terms of its tenets or in terms of its principles. So with that, you'll be well guided in terms of your theoretical framework, and your study will have direction based on the guiding principle of the theoretical provisions. Brilliant. If you like this presentation, click the button and subscribe and like as well.